A study done in 2013 at the Center for Injury Research and Policy at Nationwide Children's Hospital examined injuries to children related to amusement rides. This included fixed site rides that never leave the park, mobile rides that travel with a carnival, and rides found at local arcades, shopping malls, and even stores and restaurants.
We looked at amusement ride related injuries between 1990 and 2010. And found that over 92,000 children were injured seriously enough to be treated in hospital emergency departments during this time. That averaged about 4,400 per year, or about one every 2 hours.
CBS 4's Imelda Mejia took a look at Texas state regulations for amusement rides. She explains what current legislation is in place and what parents can do to make sure their kids are safe on those rides in her special report.
As kids get out of school, the lights, games, and thrill of rides attracts families to traveling carnivals.
La adrenalina, divertirse, ver a sus amigos.
Just to enjoy the evening and watch and get on some rides.
Most people hop on and off carnival rides without giving it a second thought. But have you ever wondered or asked, how safe are these rides?
Because I'm scared.
Scared about what?
It's because I've seen a lot of things on TV, that's why. Like accidents happening with those rides.
This mother of four probably isn't the only one scared after so many national stories of an evening of fun turned tragic. Just last week, several people fell about 30 feet from a Ferris wheel in Washington state. That incident remains under investigation. And in Kansas, a toddler died after being electrocuted by a fence next to a bounce house at a carnival. Last year, a teenager died after getting thrown from the Sizzler Carnival ride in El Paso. So CBS 4 News looked into who regulates the traveling carnival rides in Texas.
Many people assume that these rides are safe, or they might not even think about the safety before they go on the rides. And they might be surprised to find out that there are no federal regulations that govern safety.
The Texas Department of Insurance gives out stickers once a company proves that a specific ride has insurance and was inspected. But the current regulations in place don't necessarily stop injuries from happening. We found a local operator with years of experience in the carnival business.
A carnival that goes to a town and sets up for a festival, and then they'll set them up, erect the rides. They get to see those parts, they get to see those working parts, they get to see all the little different nuts and bolts and things. And they can see if they're worn or not. They can see what maintenance needs to be because you're disassembling that.
Whether a ride is a fixed ride or a mobile ride, parents do have some control in their child's safety.
The first thing you want to do is make sure that you look at all of the posted safety signs and make sure you follow them. That includes everything from making sure you follow the age, height, weight, and health restrictions, looking at what safety equipment is required. So if the ride says wear a safety belt and put down the safety bar, make sure you're doing that.
But what happens when a ride that has the okay and sticker to operate does cause an injury?
Someone would need to report it, and if it wasn't being addressed by the operator, then local law enforcement could shut it down. It would have to be reported to law enforcement.
That means if a specific ride from a specific operator is shut down due to regulations in one city, it could still legally operate in another, because in Texas, every city has a different policy to check them. For a carnival to operate in San Benito, for example, the city says that fire, code, and health inspectors would inspect the carnival rides and make sure they are up to date with current state licenses. About 20 miles west in Mercedes, for a carnival to operate, the city only makes sure that all rides have a current Texas inspection sticker and a fire extinguisher, but does say the code enforcement officer will usually meet with the inspector hired by the carnival company. Further west in McAllen, the city says they do not run background checks on the workers, but do inspect food, electrical connections, and look for fire extinguishers. The city does not inspect rides, as the operator is supposed to do that with the Texas Department of Insurance. The operators are required by Texas law to be insured for $1 million per ride per occurrence. meaning if an accident were to happen and 30 people were on the ride, that money would be split up among each individual. Accidents are reported to the Texas Department of Insurance, but the list is just that, a list. It does not lead to a ride losing its sticker and privilege to operate.
I don't believe that's addressed in state law. To my knowledge, it's never happened. But local law enforcement does have the authority to shut a ride down if people were reporting a lot of accidents on that ride.
These are the rules and regulations listed only for the state of Texas. Changes could be made by state legislators. So while some believe carnival rides are safe, others have their doubts.
I guess you always worry about safety. It's common sense, I guess. But I guess, I feel that they're maintained properly. In other words, or if not, they wouldn't be able to, have them out here for us to use.
At the end of the day, it's up to each parent or guardian to decide if a ride is safe enough for their child. In Hidalgo County, Imelda Mejia, CBS 4 News and ValleyCentral.com.
Very interesting. The Texas Department of Insurance has a list of all the amusement ride operators and which rides have a sticker for operation. Also on their website is the list of all amusement ride-related accidents reported in the state of Texas.